In this episode, I take 32 villagers from here to here. Along the way, I introduce them to my sales managers, and we train them to be really bad negotiators as well. Like all great builds in Minecraft, I had to gather a ton of resources, and not just for this villager trading hall. I'm going to need a lot of stone and other resources for my jungle temple as well, so I started a huge strip mine at diamond level to collect stone so I'd have enough to replace this little jungle temple with something more fitting for the ScoutCraft server. So I used the beacon Madzify gave me, and you gotta love insta mining with an efficiency 5 pickaxe and the haste 2 beacon effect, which helped me dig quite a large strip mine. Now I've got 146 diamond ore blocks and a fortune 3 pickaxe. Head down into the comments below and let me know how many diamonds you think we're going to get out of this stack of 146 diamond ore using my fortune 3 pickaxe. I'll be honest with you, a couple episodes ago we did 50 diamond ore with a fortune 3, and I kind of did the math, so my guess on this was 327, but hang out for just a second. Let's see where we end up at. And there you have it, 322 diamonds, which is not too bad. And now that I've got those in my little piggy bank, let's get on with the rest of the episode. All right, so now I think it's time to go and update the project board. So what do we got here? So we're still working on the jungle temple. Villager trading hall, that's what we're doing today. But last episode, we got the villager breeder done. Since I don't have a project to put back up there, I'm just going to go with the melon farm because I think we're going to need quite a few to be trading with our farmers so we can get emeralds, and ultimately I'm going to be getting golden carrots from them. But other than that, for now, let's get started on the villager trading hall. So it's going to go over here, and you can see I already started to do a little digging. So it's going to be kind of a basement to our main base. Come down here, we're going to take a little right, and we're going to come down here. And we've got to clear out a big 20 by 43 hole that's about 8 deep. So that's how big this is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and go grab the beacon since we've got to do a lot of mining. And we'll get started digging out the hole for the villager trading hall. All right, so we've got the basic layout going here of what we're going to be doing. And so it's going to be a total of 32 villagers. Over here, back off to the side right behind me, I'm not sure we're going to have villagers there or there, but we're definitely going to have them going all the way around the outside out here. And then in the back here, we're going to have a zombie that wanders around and pistons that will lower the villagers up and down with redstone and a lever. And we'll do that for all of them. And that's how we're going to zombify them as many times as we need to get those trades right. So, but other than that, the big dig is done and the layout is ready. So I'm ready to put in some of the redstone infrastructure for each of these modules. And then we'll do the build up and we'll get the villagers in. So let me get started on that. All right, so here's how it works. So the villager's going to stand right there. And when we need to, well, first let me just say, there'll be a zombie back here. And so the villager's going to stand right there. And when I need to zombify him, I just flip the switch. The villager gets lowered down and then the zombie can attack him, but the zombie can't get through because there's a trap door. And then I bring him back up when he's turned into a zombie villager, and we give him his golden apple and his potion of weakness. And that way I can zombify them and cure them as many times as I need to. So the next thing we've got to do is I'm going to finish up some of the walls. So we're going to finish up some of these walls here. And then we'll start getting our villagers moved in, and then we've got to put in the flooring throughout, and there's going to be some big arches up over here, so we've got quite a bit to do. So what I wanted to do here was try and give the build some depth, and so I incorporated some arches and some different textures. So I've got the acacia logs with the background of the actual note blocks, and then I've hung the lanterns in front of it, and then off to the sides we've got the pillars with the arches that are going to end up folding right into the ceiling, as you can see as we go around here. So what I've got next to do is probably let's put in the middle pillars and the arches, and then we can get started on the ceiling. All right, as you can see, we've kind of got a lot done. All of the walls and all of the columns are in, and I do have to do a lot of texturing. So yeah, these brick things look kind of out of place, but I promise once the ceiling's in, this is all gonna make sense and look good. And then of course, we've still got to take care of the floor and whatnot, but as you can see how this is looking over here. So we get our villager in place. We don't like, you know, the zombies walking around back here, and we want to get him down on his price. So we lower that down. Boom, villager converts him into a zombie villager. Bring him back up, and then we cure him. And then of course the workstations are going to go in front of him here. So we'll put those in place once we've got once we've got all our villagers in place. We'll put their workstations in place, but this is how it's coming together. So floor and ceiling are what's next. All right, so what I want to do with the ceiling is just like with the walls, I want to give it some depth. So I started with some spruce trap doors, and then on top of that, we're going to go ahead and use the dark oak. So that's going to tie in the spruce trap doors that are in the floor and the dark oaks that are in the arches over the kind of the modules where the villagers are. And then I'm going to complement it and go up even another level, and that's where we're going to use more of the note blocks that we used in sort of the background of the modules themselves. And then in the center, I'm going to leave an opening because we've got to do chandeliers there, and I'll show you in a minute what kind of design we're going to do for that. After that, it's just a matter of going around and doing this the other 8 times to fill in the ceiling, and I think it's going to end up looking really good, especially once we tie the floor in with it.
Downloading.
Okay, just want to give you a little update here as to where we're at with things, and I think you can see from the background that we've gotten quite a bit done. We've got pretty much all the stalls where the villagers are going to go in along the sides. We've got the walls, and we've got most of the ceiling, but as you can see up here, we've got the holes in the center where we've got to put the chandeliers, and I've got to head over to Oddman has some blackstone that I think I'm going to use to do that. So I'm going to head over there real quick and grab some blackstone. So why don't you head over with me? All right, so I think while we're heading over to Oddman's base, which, you know, when we get there, I think we'll do a quick tour because I don't think I've shown you guys that before. But while we're heading over there, let's tackle the question of the day.
It's time for the question of the day.
The question of the day for this episode comes from Postal Productions, and he says, great episode. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Are you guys thinking of doing any prank wars? Well, I can definitely say that there's been quite a bit of talk amongst the scouts about some mini games and some other things that we've been planning on doing. But we're also kind of deep into thinking about season 2. So there's quite a lot of stuff going on in the background, but I think you'll see some a little bit more interactive stuff coming up here, hopefully pretty soon.
Back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, so here we are coming up on Oddman's base, and if you haven't had a chance to check out any of Oddman's videos, definitely do so, because he's been working on sort of these dwarven mines, and I kind of always think of you know, the Lord of the Rings stuff when I think of dwarven mines and Mordor and all of that. But he's definitely put a lot of work into this, and I love these statues he's got out front of villagers and whatnot. But what we're really here for is some blackstone. He said he was gonna leave me a stack of blackstone here, and looks like it's gonna be in here. Yeah, here it is. Oh, he's left me 2. Wonder if he meant for me to take both of those. I did say I'd leave him a couple of diamonds in return for the favor, but so here's 2 diamonds. I'll take both the blackstone. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take the bamboo or not, but I've got plenty of bamboo, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that there. But All right, well, let's have a quick tour since we're here, huh? It's kind of where he's sleeping in and kind of the entryway. It's got storage here. And then, oh my goodness. You guys haven't seen Odd Man's base yet. You've got to check it out. Look at this library. This place is huge. Oh, he's got artwork going and everything. This is awesome. He's got some sugarcane growing over here. The walls over there. What's this? Oh, he's got a melon and a pumpkin farm. All right. He's got something going on over here. What is this called? Dwarven Chambers. So it must be a work in progress. Hope I'm not giving away any spoilers here. Then we go up. Holy smokes, he's put a lot of work into this place, huh? Oh, cool. All right, hope I'm not giving away any spoilers, but man, that is spectacular. Look at that. Then we've got our little beehive room. This place is massive. Love it. All right, well, this has got me kind of inspired, so let's head back and get to work. So I didn't quite get the footage of putting in the chandeliers, but I used Blackstone steps and I centered her around a piece of cobblestone, and then on the cobblestone I hung a hopper, and from that we did a chain and obviously some iron bars, and then we're just putting lanterns on that, and I think it came out really well. And we've got that depth look to it when you've got the stone Blackstone stairs and then the hopper coming out of it like that, and I think it looks out really well. And overall the ceiling is really popping on this, so we've got to definitely get to decorating in and around the opening, as well as I've got a lot of spruce trapdoors that I want to place for the floor, and we still haven't figured out exactly what's going to go in the middle, because it's not going to be all spruce trapdoors. Plus, with the texturing that's involved and trying to figure out exactly how we're going to trim out the stairs down here is definitely a big part of it. So there's still a lot to do, but overall, I think we're pretty much ready to, start putting in the villagers. So now it's just a matter of connecting up the villager breeder to the villager trading hall. And I think if I dig in right about here, this should put us right up on to kind of to the right hand side of the main door. So we'll add another doorway here, and yeah, that's just about perfect, not quite centered. So we'll dig this through a little bit further. Now it's just a matter of laying out enough tracks to get to the first little cell in the module, so the individual little villager station where he's going to be working. And so we'll put down enough tracks for that. And the first one's going to go right over here, so just be real careful. And now we need to put in some dirt back here, because if we're not careful, when we knock the minecart out from under the villagers, if there's an open space in an adjacent square, they'll end up spawning over in that rather than spawning into the little spot where we've got them blocked in. All right, so let's see if we can send over this. Oh, crap. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. That's where efficiency picks sometimes make it more difficult. Let's see here. Put this in here and break this out. Oh, all right. Well, this will be easier. Here we go. All right, so let's give him a push. And off he goes, and we're just gonna chase him down. And I'm putting this guy in here because I'd already set this guy up with an efficiency 5 trade. And I kind of wanted to see if I can kind of group or organize these guys a little bit, but we'll see what happens. So, all right, now we just gotta break out the minecart, and we should be good. Let's turn on the hitboxes here, and just, if we just catch the corner of this minecart, and oh, you know what? See, I should have had more dirt back there. All right. Why are villagers sometimes just a pain? All right, here, go on, dude. No, you can't do that. I need some dirt. Pop this down here. If we can just keep him from wandering out. So at least he's trapped. Let's hop in there. And he can't go through, so break this out. All right, there we go. Now let's see if we can get this all put back together here. I need to get this trap door. Trap door. All right, gotta move, buddy. Get your butt in there. Nope. Come on. Push. Nope. Don't walk forward. Stay right there. Nope. Go back a little bit more. All right. Just scrunch in here. There we go. All right, so that's our first village. All right, so now we just got to repeat this process 31 more times. So get the villager, get a fresh villager, get him in the minecart, get him over here, and let's see if we can break this minecart out without this guy popping out in the wrong spot. And perfect. There we go. He's in. There's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one.
Downloading.
At this point, we've got all the villagers in, and now I'm just trying to lure some zombies down here and get them in place, because we're going to definitely need to make sure we get these villagers zombified and cured, right? We got to put them through the experiment. And I like to think of these zombies kind of as my sales managers. Like, if these villagers don't want to negotiate and give me the best price, then I think they're going to have to be introduced to the sales manager, who's going to, knock them into shape and get them down to where their trades are a little bit more reasonable. So I've got a bunch of name tags where they're named sales managers. So that's what we're going to call all of the zombies. All right, well, we've got all the zombies and all the villagers in place, and I've even got some that have, we've started to set up trades, and you can see over here on the left, we've got one that we've already started to convert to a zombie villager. So all that's really left is to do some texturing and finish up the flooring, which I want to try and come up with some sort of design here in the middle. Not sure what I'm going to do. Might even bring in, I don't know, we might do some little trading stalls or piles of inventory, things like melons and that sort of stuff. But really, it's about all setting up the trades. So on this side over here is going to be librarians. And then at some point, probably over here, we'll have weaponsmiths and toolsmiths and things like that. And then we'll probably in the middle finish up with, I don't know, masons, or we'll figure out what we kind of need as we go. But as you can see, I've got a lot of texturing, and we've got the entire floor to do, and then we got to set up trades. So I'm going to get back to work. All right, so after some trial and error about putting down lecterns and, various job blocks for the villagers, I started to get the trades I wanted, and now it was time to make them cheaper. So we just lower them down and let the zombie attack them, but you kind of got to get out of the way. And then, as you can see here, he's go. Oh, see, he hooks onto me, and then he won't attack him. But anyways, you lower the villagers down, and then the zombie zombifies them, and we just raise them back up and throw a couple of weakness potions in there, and we just hit them with the apples, and all that's left to do is wait for the really sweet deals. So the whole outside area around the outer edge of the villager trading hall, the floor is just going to be made of spruce trapdoors, and I'm probably going to have to add in some texturing, as well as, I don't know how we're going to hide some lighting under it. I don't know if we're going to have to use carpets or not, but just worked really hard to gather up enough spruce to make all the trapdoors to get this part of the build done. And then I worked on also just trimming up the doors that are off to either side of the main stairway going into the villager trading hall. So we used oak trap doors as sort of a ring around the door, and then we got a spruce door there. And then I moved on to my experimentation with flooring. So I took a look at using a smithing table for a flooring texture, and wasn't quite sold on it, but I did put quite a bit of effort into quite a bit of resources into making smithing tables. And when I stood back on it, I just felt like it's a nice color, but there's just not enough variation in the block. So anybody who needs some smithing tables, I got a few spares. I ended up deciding to experiment with furnaces, because the top of the furnace has a particular texture, but you can rotate it all the way, 360 degrees, and by placing them one direction and then the next direction and one block over, you get a lot of variation in the flooring. And then on top of that, I wanted to use some smokers because the top of the smoker has got a different texture as well, and I think we'll be able to make a pretty cool tile-like pattern for the floor in the villager trading hall. Well, we've finally finished it off. I've still got to set up some of the trades, and we've got a little bit of texturing to do, but I just couldn't wait to kind of do a nice little slow-mo fly through here with the shaders on to see how it looks. And I think it looks fantastic. Now, I do have some touch-ups I want to do, like a little bit more texturing on the columns, and definitely have to work on getting some of these trades set up. I did actually run out of gold, so I ran out of golden apples, but I really like how the floor came out. You can see I do have some light gray carpets, and those are covering up some shroom lights just because I needed some lighting in here to keep the mob spawns down, but just really love the way that it came out, and I hope you like it too. Thank you so much for watching, and if you stuck around this far, you must really like the video, and I sure would appreciate it, and it really would help the channel out if you would give this a thumbs up, and that way YouTube would know that other viewers might like it. Until next time, craft on, my dudes.